friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 48th Flosstube episode. If you are new here, welcome. This is a channel that's mostly about cross stitch. I do share my other hobbies here when I've worked on them, but I just have stitching to share with you today. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me today. I appreciate all of you even more than you know. Today is Sunday, it's February the 4th, and it's a sunshiny day here in Maryland. It's unbelievable that it's February already, but here we are. I hope everybody had a wonderful January. Ours was pretty eventful, actually. We had a lot of weather, we had rain, and there was flooding, and snow and ice and everything, which meant we had a lot of inclement weather days off of work. I also had my wisdom teeth out in the beginning of the month, and so that was a whole a whole journey, but I do have actually quite a bit of stitching to show from when I was recovering from that, because I wasn't doing much else at the time. We've been working on a little kitchen refresh. Erin put in a new backsplash, and we're getting ready to do some painting in there. I have been fully finishing some of my cross stitch, just a lot going on this month. Which always seems to be the case, right? What else? Erin and Cora are upstairs hanging out. I will do my best to cut out any barking that may happen, as always. I've got Mittens sleeping in a chair right here. Quentin's at work. And I think that we should probably just get into it. I have a whole table full of stuff to share with you today. So like I said, I've been doing some fully finishing some of my cross stitch. I asked in my Whip Parade video if people would like to see a finished but not fully finished parade, and Leah Noel of Rhubarb Patch Studio, I'm pretty sure that's right, she'll be linked below, said that, you know, maybe once I pull all of that out, it'll kind of inspire me to get some of those projects done, and she was right. So I am planning on filming that sometime later this month, but I did kind of pull everything out to just kind of get the lay of the land because my pile is big, and I pulled out some of the projects that I could do some soft finishing on, and so over the past week or so I've been working on those, and I think that's where we're going to get started today. So we'll start with that, and then I've got some new starts, I've got some starts and finishes, I've got some finishes, I've got some whips, I've got the whole gambit, I've got some stuff that came in the mail. So let's get right into it. All right, so let's see. The first thing I'm going to share here is a project that I stitched out of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. This was the winter 2022 issue. And this is Essay's Steamer Trunk by Teresa Vanette of Shakespeare's Peddler. And I bought the kit from her, so it came with the trunk, all the flosses, and the fabric to stitch it with. I stitched this up last April, and here is my finish. Here's the little trunk that it came with. You open it up, and here is the stitching. So I did several layers of like a thick cardboard underneath of this to kind of get it up high enough, and then I did mat board covered in batting for the top of it. And she suggests putting a little scrap of paper on the inside, and so it'll sit up like that. How cute is that? That took hardly any time to finish. I can't believe that I waited to do that. So cute, I love that. I finished, let's see, I had some kits that came with all of the finishing accoutrements, and so I got a couple of those done. This first one is Creeping It Round by Heart and Hand. This was in a Color and Cotton Halloween box. What was that, 2019, I think? So I stitched this during Dark October stitching this year, and I pulled out all of the stuff and I finished it up. So here's my little finish. I used the called for everything with this, and I put this fabric on the back. I love this fabric. I actually used this fabric to kind of prep a couple other finishes, but I ran out of steam and I was tired of the mess on my table. So I'll work on those another time, but I love this fabric. It just came from Walmart, and it was white, and I dipped it in coffee. So works perfect from that. Cute. Another thing that I stitched recently, I finished this in December, is the Noel tag by somebody. I can't remember. This came in the Kitten Stitcher Advent box. It's gonna drive me nuts that I can't think of who that's by. But anyway, this came as a kit. It came with the board and the buttons and the lace. And here's my finish. So I stitched this with the called for DMC over 1 on 28 count Monaco, just like an antique white Monaco. And I used a little mat board, again covered in batting, and I made some cording for it. I've had one of those Krynic cording makers for a long time, and this is the first time I've ever used it, was on some of these finishes. So it was pretty easy to do. So that's cute. That's all done. Next, this was a project, I think it came out in 2021. It was the Stronger Together pattern. It was a quilt kit, a quilt pattern, and a cross stitch pattern by the Fat Quarter Shop. And I have the quilt kit, which I have not started, but I had finished the stitching of the stitching. And I finished it into this little pin pillow here. So this is the fabric on the back, and I did a little bit of lace around the edges and a bow at the top to kind of cover up where the lace joined. And this is going to sit on my sewing cart. I have a little pin cushion on there now, which is actually one that my mom made, and I want to put that somewhere else. I want to put that actually in my china cabinet, and I want to use this on my sewing cart as my regular pin pillow. So it's full of crushed walnut shells, and I was glad to have that one done. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this, but I think that turned out great. So I made a couple other little pillows. This is by Plum Pudding Needleworks. I think that's their name. I also stitched these this past October. I think this was called Pumpkin and Crows. And it looked like this. So here's the first one. This was a fabric that also came in that same Halloween color and cotton box that the Creeping Around came in. So here's the first one. And there's cat hair all over everything. And the second one. Same backing, and I put just a little bit of black ribbon around the edges, and I threw a couple pins into each one. I got some shelves that I hope to put one here in the dining room, and I hope to put one kind of at the top of the stairs where I can display like little things like this a little easier. So those are cute. Finished. These are 3 ornaments by Night Spirit Studio that I had stitched a little while ago. So here's the first one. I finished them all the same. Put this red and white polka dot on the back. Here's the second one. Same on the back. They just have a little bit of black ribbon on the edge and a little pin on the bottom. And here is the third one. So those are all done. The next thing I have is by Ardith Design. This is part of her Chesapeake Bay series, her Chesapeake Bay Treasure series. This was number 2. This was the Blue Heron. And I finished it into a little pillow. She sells these as kits. So it comes with the hand-dyed Ada, the floss, the little pin with the fishy charm, the backing fabric. This is the 3rd one of the series that I finished. I think she's got 5. So I've done this one. I've done the Tundra Swans, which looks like this. And I did the Blue Crab, which looks like this. And then I think there is a seahorse and an acetique pony as well. I think I have the seahorse kit upstairs. I'll have to double check on that. All right, and then this is the next thing I have to show is kind of like my big finish, and I don't know how I'm going to actually show this here, so I'm either going to take some pictures and insert them as I'm talking, or a little video. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but something will be happening to make it so that you can better see this next finish, which is actually 12 finishes. So I stitched the Top Knot Stitcher Monthly Moon series, and I knew when I saw them and I started stitching them that I had this like burlap bunting, and I wanted to figure out a way to finish them on that, and that's what I did. So let's see. They're kind of all on this chair over here. So this is how they turned out. Sorry, my bows got a little, my bows look better when they're spread out. They got a little messed up while I was trying to get this set up. Like, these should not be up like that. Anyways, so what I did is I took and I put each of them on a piece of foam board, and I did a little white cording around them, and I made little bows, and I put them in between with these pretty little beads, which I thought kind of reminded me of a full moon. And I'm not sure how well I'll be able to show the whole thing, but I will certainly try here. Yep, we're all twisted up. Okay. So here they are. They're also kind of noisy. All finished. I'm really pretty pleased with how these turned out. I think this is going to look really nice hanging up in my craft room upstairs. Erin wanted to hang it down here. I don't know that, number one, I have a place to hang them down here, and I don't really know that it quite goes with the, I don't know what vibe I have down here, but I don't know that these really go with that. But these will be perfect up in my craft room, and I am super excited. It's really long. It's like, you know, 6 feet long, I think. But I've never done anything like this before, and I had to push myself a little bit, and I'm glad that I did, because I'm really happy with how they turned out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly kind of reset. I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to pull up the other projects that I've been working on. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Also, I wanted to say, if you haven't been with me before, with me for a long time, when I do my finishing, what will happen is I will get the urge to do a little finishing, and then I will finish as many things as I can until I get burnt out, and then I won't want to finish anything again for a while. So we will see how long it is before I do anything else. Even though I do kind of want to get some framing done. We'll see. We will see. Anyways, so what else have I been working on? I have been using my book of days. Last year I was using my book of days until about the middle of the year, and then for whatever reason I just stopped doing it. I know lots of people make them really pretty with lots of stickers. I do not. My book of days is pretty chaotic, just like I am when it comes to my stitching sometimes. So I am tracking everything I've stitched every day. New starts, finishes, what whips I have completed, and FFOing that I've done. So I have been using that. And what have I been stitching on? Let's see. So in my December update, I shared that I had started the Birds of a Feather winter pattern. I started this on my mom's birthday this year. I think she would have loved these beautiful French girls. And I've been trying something different with this project. I am using it as kind of like a daily 30 stitch. So every day I'm trying to work on it for 30 days, or if, let's say, I miss a day, then the next day I'll give it like an hour of time. But it's so big, it is 295 wide by 384 high, that I don't want it to linger forever and ever and ever. And there's 4 of them, 1 for each season. So I've been working on this page up here, and these pages are really very big. I'm gonna kind of hold this back so you can't really see, but like that page is huge. So I've just been working my way down the best that I can. Let me show you where I've got to. So this lives, in fact, all of them live in this pretty quilted bag that I got off of, I think, Stash Unloading, and I am stitching it on a piece of 38 count Cloister Cream by Legacy Linen. And I chose all the colors from my own stash, kind of based on what the pictures look like. So here they are. They're kind of a wreck right now. And I don't remember if I had picked out the white I was using in my last video, but I am using Sulky White, which is my very favorite white for this project. And here's where I'm at. So I am just about halfway done with the first page. So that is a lot of stitching, and I will have to say, I guess the white is showing up pretty well here. It was hard to choose a white that would show up on this fabric, and while I'm stitching, trying to stitch the white is very difficult because under my lamp it completely blends in. So, you know, it is what it is. But I am really enjoying how this turned out. I'm getting ready to start a big flower down here, which means I'm getting to add in a couple more colors. And she's coming along, so I'm gonna keep picking away at her, I think, you know, until I don't want to anymore. And then I'm not sure if I'm gonna start the spring one in spring, or if I might wait and start the summer one next on the first day of summer, but we will see. But she's pretty big. Like, she's gonna take up a lot of this fabric, so she's coming along. Other than the white, it's been really enjoyable. I did finally find a rhythm when I was stitching these tree limbs. There was the way that I wanted to stitch them, and then the way that I had to stitch them, which didn't work out the same way at first, but now I've finally got a little rhythm with them, so that makes them more enjoyable. So there she is. The next thing I have to share, it was my New Year, New Start. I did discuss this, I think, in my last video too, that I had planned on starting this. This is a Modern Folk Embroidery, No Time Like the Present stitch along for 2024. This is my first Modern Folk Embroidery yearly stitch along. Actually, I don't know if this one's yearly. I think it's supposed to end in October, but you know, we'll see. And I was inspired by this colorway right here. This project lives in this little celestial bag that I made, and I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count platinum in DMC 3031 and 370. I think last time I wasn't sure about the dark color, but I did end up going with that one. I'm stitching the brown 2/2, and I'm stitching the like olivey green color 1/2. Hold on, let me pull the pattern back out and I'll show you why. I chose to do it that way because the green color will be all of this moon part here, and I knew there was no way that I was not going to want to stitch that part in hand to make it go a little bit faster. And I don't like the way my stitches look 2/2 when stitching the sewing method on 36 count. So I did one strand for the green. Anyways, this is the January section here, and I'm pretty happy with how my colors are turning out so far. I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm really excited about this project. So now that we're in February, I'm going to put this back on the Q-snap and get going on the next section. I know some people said that this stitched up faster than they thought, but this actually took a little bit longer than I thought it would. So I would like do, it's like on the pattern, it's like 3 different sections. So I did one section and then worked on another project, and then center section and worked on another project, and then the last section to get through that. So I'm really excited about this though. I think it's gonna look really cool. What I believe is my first finish of the year. Was not something that I necessarily intended to finish. I've got a lot of like dark stitching whips or fall themed whips, so I'm trying to maybe spread them out a little bit throughout the year to try to get some of them completed. And the first one that I worked on and completed was by the Primitive Needle, and it's the Follow Me. This was just from my working copy. The pattern has actually made its way off to a new home already, so somebody else can enjoy it as well. It lives in this bag here, this giant skeleton bag that is full of all of my tombstone patterns. So if you guys would like to see what's in here, maybe I'll share that when I start this next one. This is the next one on my list. This is Lilac by Cozy Egg Design, so I'll start that one next. We'll actually go on the other half of this fabric. The fabric is 36 count Pick Me Choose Me by Fortnite Fabrics, and I used for this one Mrs. Seda Silk in her 310, and this is how much I had left. I had just enough left. I've actually got a couple more skeins of this, but we just made it, guys. And here is my finish. So I love this. I actually ended up stitching a lot of monochromatic projects this month, which was really nice. This is 2/2 on 36 count, which is typically my preferred way. This was a lot of stitching. I think that's where most of that floss went. It reads, "As you are now, so once was I, as I am now, so you must be, so prepare for death and follow me." Love it. And then, like I said, I've got the other half of this fabric for that cozy egg pattern. Okay, so I guess next kind of timeline wise, I got my, like I said, I had my wisdom teeth out, and so when I don't feel well, I go to the bed. I know some people like to lay on the couch when they don't feel good. I like to be in my bed. I get myself all set up in the bed. I have a light in there, and I just need to be in the bed. So during that recovery time, I did a lot of bobbinating, and this like whole giant bag. I got all caught up on my bobbinating. Normally Erin does that, but I did that instead. And I worked on a couple of projects that were kind of easier to work through. So let's see. First, I'll show you this little one. This is from the Happiness is Homemade 2023 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. I got this for 2 patterns. There's a Blackbird design pattern in here, and then this one from Art Design, and it's called, I'm sorry for what I said, when I was hungry. To cover up the pattern, looks like this. I thought this was hilarious, and truly the hardest part of recovery for me from having my wisdom teeth out was not being able to eat what I wanted to. I love food. You know, I used to be a professional chef. We eat really well, and I know some people are maybe happy to live off of, you know, soft foods like ice cream and mashed potatoes and all those kind of good things, but I got hangry pretty quickly. So I stitched this just on a little piece of, like a little scrap of 40 count, just to get my feelings out, you know, and a couple different DMCs that I chose. So I think I'm going to take this and make it into just like a little like flat thing that I can like prop up in the window above my sink. Just as a constant reminder to Erin that when I'm hungry, I don't mean it. So the next thing that I worked on while I was down and out was the Baba Yaga Sampler by Thread Sewer, just like this. This I found to be very soothing and have actually continued to work on it. Let's see, I think I just had the one page done, this page here, done when I first picked it up. I am stitching it on a piece of 20 count Vintage Country Mocha using this Color and Cotton mist dye, thread mist dye. You can see that, okay. It's pretty blue, and it lives in this like little malted mushroom bag, which I love. And here's where I got. So that is some pretty good progress. I went ahead and I stitched all the border in, and then I finished off the second page. I also used this for my lunchtime stitching once the inclement weather days were over and we were back to work. So let's see, I brought the border over, and then I took it all the way down, and then I brought this side down, and I brought it all the way over, and I realized it wasn't going to match. And I was like, oh my god, what have I done? So as it turned out, right up here in the very beginning when I started to bring this side down, I missed a stitch here, and I would have had to rip out this entire side, and I just wasn't willing to do that, so I added an extra stitch down here, and I don't think that anybody cares. So I just left it. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep working on this in the month of February or not. I might save this and finish it up next year. We'll see. Another blue sampler that I worked on and then finished was Anna Omen 1873 from Leah Studio. Looks like this. The called for color is Classic Colorworks Used Brick or DMC 3830. But I stitched mine in blue to go with the rest of my blue samplers. I wasn't anticipating pulling this out and working on this and finishing it. I thought that I would be working on it in the month of March, but I don't know, something about that monochromatic stitching was just what I wanted to do. That's what my brain had the power for. So it was living in this Halloween bag for no good reason other than I like it. And I stitched it on a piece of 36 count Ancient by Picture This Plus using Moselle cotton in Bilbao. I used this cute little Andel thread keeper and Shakespeare's Peddler, and I've got a ton of this floss left, which is good because I love this color. And here's my finish. Isn't she pretty? I really like her a lot. So she's a lot of stitching. But you can kind of get into a little bit of a groove with these borders. I had 2 pages left to do the bottom 2 pages. And let's see. This one is not quite the same as this one. Stitcher error, not pattern error, but it's okay. I make lots of mistakes. But I think she's beautiful, and I love her very much. Happy to have her done. The next piece that I worked on was the Beatrix Potter Quaker Sampler by Stitchy Box Samplers. Looks like this. I started this last January with Kansas City Girl and a Colorado World Julie and many other people. And it lives in this Ladies with Birds bag. I am stitching it on a piece of 36 count vintage Quicksilver by Lakeside Linen using DMC 535. And there's a little bit of accent color, and I'm going to be using Sulky White for that. And I did get a second page finish, which is not a lot. I had already taken this project down to the bottom, and I worked on this second page, and I was hoping to get, to kind of take it over, like at least across the top, so I could cut off a little bit of this extra linen, but for whatever reason, I had a hard time kind of getting into this project this time, so I just went ahead and finished up the second page. I think it's 4 pages across the top, and put it away for now. So maybe it'll come back out a little later in the spring and get some more love. There's no rush, so it's fine. The project that I meant to focus on for the month of January, and is my focus project until it's done, is the Desiderata by Lifetime Samplers, or yeah, Lifetime Samplers. Looks like this. This is my oldest whip. I started it in 2018, in June of 2018, and I would really like to get it done this year. And I didn't really focus on it quite as much as I meant to, but I did get some progress on it. I'm stitching it on a piece of 16 count lamb's wool Aida. It lives in this pretty project bag, and I'm using all of the called for DMC. And it's pretty big. Here's where I am. So that's the whole piece, and as you can see, I have been working on this section down here, so my borders have now matched up, and I did all of the, so you do some of the stitching in 2 strands and some of it in 1 strand. So I went ahead and put in all of the 2 strand stitching that I could, because I can do the 1 strand using the sewing method to make that fill in a lot faster. And then it'll go back and it gets stem stitch vines all through it. I guess it'll kind of look like that section up top there. So it got some love, not too much, not as much as I had anticipated, but it did get some love. So hopefully, I don't think this will come out in February, but in March I'll be able to finish up that bottom border, and then I can start in on the rest of the sections. Right, and then what I'm currently working on right now is the Mary Claire Carroll 1738 sampler by Samplers Revisited. This is the oldest known Maryland sampler. And so I have gotten just a start on page 7, which is starting at this floral border, which is the halfway point, and working down here. Now these pages are really big. I was looking at it last night, and it's like the pages are like 100 stitches high by 90 stitches wide. So these are big pages. So if I can get maybe half of the page, all 3 pages across done, I will be really happy. This is living in my Maryland bag with my Maryland little bag that I keep my floss in. I'm using all the called for DMC, and I'm stitching it on a piece of 38 count Wayfarer's Cloak by Legacy Linen, and here's where I'm at right now. So I just started on that floral border and on the words that go right here. What did these say? See how the lilies flourish white and fair, see how the ravens fed from heaven are, is what that band will say. So pretty big. There's this border satin stitch. The next border underneath of it will be satin stitch. There's a lot of satin stitch in this project. There's a lot of freeform kind of embroidery sections in this project too, which I'm going to go back and add at the end. I think what I'll do is I have a scroll frame. I will put this on a scroll frame once I'm done with all of the cross stitching and do the embroidery parts then. That way they won't get crushed with the clamps, which I've been thinking. I think I want to get some grime guards so I don't have all my stuff folded up in the clamps. I probably should do that, or learn to make them maybe. If anybody has a tutorial that they like, please suggest it below. One thing I did notice though when I pulled this out is that this line right here that I cross stitched should have been satin stitch over 3 strands, and I'm undecided if I want to pull that out or not. I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. So anyways, that is what I'm working on right now. And I will currently work on, and see, I'll go across here with this band, the verse, and then there's a another satin stitch border underneath that I will probably do before I put this away. I've got quite a few things that I'd like to work on in February. I've got at least 1 new start plan that I would like to do. I hope to finish up Rosina Distery this month, give Mary Pets some love too, so lots of fun stitching to look forward to. Alright, so that's everything I've worked on. I feel like I'm talking really fast, so if I am, I'm sorry, I guess. So let me show you now, let me pull this over, what has come in the mail. Oh, first, a little bit of Stitchy kindness. Paula, who is a member of the monthly stitch group that I go to, made everybody these cute little containers. How cute is this? Pop it up. And inside she filled it with ribbons and some really pretty Valentine's beads and chocolates, but I immediately ate the chocolate upon returning home. So, isn't that cute? Adorable. Love that. Thank you, Paula. All right, so what came in the mail? First, I'm going to share with you my Color and Cotton. This is the January Fabric Club. I'm in the Neutral Club, and this is a piece of 36 count mushroom bold. I'm afraid these fabrics never show up very nicely for me, but I will say that every month when the fabric comes, that's always my new favorite color. I'm always so pleased. I love every single one of them. I've been in her fabric club since it started, and I still look forward to it every single month. So love that. I placed an order with my friend Olivia at Hillside Rookery, which if you have not ordered from, you definitely should. I love her store, and I love her too. She sent along this pretty little postcard. And I ordered a few things from her. I ordered the Stacy Nash To My Friend Pin Keep Stack. Looks like this. I ordered Peppermint and Holly, which I'm sure lots of people purchased. After I stitched that little blackbird ornament in December, I want to stitch more. So I got this. And then I also got Blackbird by Blackbird Designs. I already had this, and I lent it to my sister, and when she moved, I think it might have gotten damaged, so I just bought a new copy. No worries. No worries there. But I really like to start this soon. I think it was maybe on Brenda and Laura's video. They showed, or they talked about somebody that stitched, maybe it was Strawberry Fields Forever over 1 on 25 count. And I've been thinking about that probably ever since. I have like a yard of 25 count upstairs, so I might want to make these tiny. We'll see. Maybe not this one because it's already pretty small. This one's 75 by 87, but maybe some of the other ones. I do have all the rest of the, I think it's called the Magical Mystery Tour patterns. So there's that. I placed an order with the Stitching Shop, which is out of Canada, and Kaylee had put on her Instagram a new color that she made called Avocado Toast, and I thought it was just really, really pretty. So I ordered a piece of that. She sent along this pretty card, and here is the linen. It is just a really, really beautiful mottled pale green, and it's much more saturated in real life. I feel like this is definitely blown out, but man, this is really, really pretty. And I've got a couple ideas of things that I might like to put on this, and it looks like it's going to be really nice to stitch on too. So I was excited for that. Let's see. Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche put out a video for the first time in a while, and so I had to go and visit her shop after watching that, obviously, like you do, and I ordered 3 Prairie Schoolers from her. I ordered Nevermore. I obviously love this. I love the little rave. I love the whole thing. I want to do it all. So I got that. I got this Countrywise. I like several of these. I like the Witches In. I've got a little sign on my door that says like the Witches In or the Witches Out. You can turn it either way. It always says the Witches Out, but I do like the Witches In here. I'm gonna keep it simple. I like those. And then I got these little Prairie Schooler stockings. I think there's a second chart like this that I'm also interested in as a possibility for my coworkers for their ornaments for this year. I'm already thinking about that. I really like this one with the house and the moons, and I like this one with the dog. So we'll see, that could be a possibility for them. This next section I will call Kristy made me buy it. Daisy K's Primitives. She is always stitching things that I absolutely love, and she showed these little stockings that she had stitched, and I love them. Again, maybe for my coworkers, maybe I like this little ABC one for myself. You know, I love snowmen. I would probably change the colors, but maybe for like I said, maybe for my coworkers, maybe for myself. So I got this pattern, and the seller was also selling it with this pattern here, and I really like the heart and hand on down there, and I kind of like that goose as well. Yeah, so I like that a lot. And then she had also in a video a ways back had talked about the Chester County collection of samplers, and this one came up. I loved them all then. I still would probably like to find more of them, but I got this pattern. This is Elizabeth Otley and Hannah Bunting. I really like this. I really like this one. It's just the antiques on the back. So I think those all came from eBay. Two more things to share. This, I don't think I'd ever heard of this designer before. This is Violets and Verses, and it definitely came up in one of the stitching Facebook groups that I'm in, and this is called To Emmeline AW 1847. It looks like this. And what attracted me to this is that it says Emmeline Clark, born November the 9th in the year of our Lord 1793, and my birthday is also November the 9th. I've stitched Agnes Elin Hick, who also stitched her sampler on November the 9th, and anything I can find, obviously, with my birthday on it, I have to have it to stitch it. So I like this. This might be a nice little February sampler to do. We'll see. And the last thing that I got is from the Artsy Housewife. Maybe I'm the last person in Flosstube land to purchase this, but this is Coffee and Eggs. So my kitchen is like a kind of a bright orangey yellow, and we have some kind of retro mushroom wallpaper. It's like pinup mushrooms. Maybe once we're done the refresh in the kitchen, I will show you guys around in there, because I do keep stitching in there. But this goes perfectly kind of with the vibe that we have going. I would probably punch up the colors actually a little bit, because our kitchen is a little bright. But I love this, and I would of course like to have it hanging up in there. So let me think, is that everything? I think so. I hope, like I said, I hope everybody had a wonderful January and is looking forward to a pleasant February. I know a lot of people are starting long dogs for the leap day. I keep thinking about them, but haven't pulled the trigger on one yet. And I think that's it. So I hope everybody's been well, and I will talk to you soon. Love you all. Bye.